I would like to remind you about the yesterday class. We had started the new topic based on financial management, which is under chapter 6, the capital expenditure decisions, right? So we have introduction to capital expenditure decisions, identify the definitions and the types of projects, as well as the approval process, right? The approval process of the projects or proposals that we have done. We have done some techniques for analyzing the expenditure proposals. Just throw away only for the first of methods, right? Let me see. So we have done some payback method, right? Examples. So we are, as I remember, we have finished on the example number 2 based on payback method. So I was explaining you the cash flow of the examples, and the solution comes here. So let's start from the example number 2 based on the payback method. So let's remind the assignment itself. Okay, that would be good. So here is given to you assignment of an investment. Let's assume the cash inflows and the cash outflows for the investment is following. So the cash inflows is 300 of USD per year from the year 1 to 5. That means we are receiving the profits or some cost savings in the amount of 300 each year over the 5 years, right? And here is, we have mentioned it already. And cash outflows, which means how much we have invested in the project, is given to you. That is 800 was invested in the year first, and the 150 being invested in the second year. So if there is not expect any kind of cost in the year from 3 to 5. So we have some investment in the 2 earliest year, right? So let's see the table. We have prepared the table for this assignment, the table of the cash flows. Here is given to you the cash inflows. You remember is being given that's 300. The company receives some profits of 300 USD each year. So during over the 5 years, it is receiving the constant profits, like a fixed profits, right? The cash outflow, that means we have invested some 800 in the first year and the 150 in the second year. And shows as well net cash flow. That means how much difference we have between inflows and the outflow of the cash, right? So, and the net cash flow the first year shows that this has a net cash flow minus 500, which is negative, because we have to take our cash outflows, which is 800, and deduct from our inflows, which is 300. So then you will get the amount of minus 500 in the net cash flow for the first year, right? In the second year, so we do same thing. So we do calculations. We are going to take cash outflows and deduct from inflows. So you will get the 150 of net cash flows. That's how much we actually have a difference between inflows and outflows, which means how much we receive some net cash. Net cash, which is the net profits, right? And accordingly, for the years 3, 4, and 5, we have a net cash flows by the 300 of each year, right? So this is just given to you the table of the cash flow based on the project, how we should prepare to show that how much we receive the cash inflows over the 5 years, how much we spend for the investments for the each year, and how much we have some losses or profit based on the each years. And as well, I was giving to you some calculations. Here is under the table, you can see just calculations given based on these examples at overall amounts. That's how we can do in the different way to see our profits from these projects. For example, I have taken the cash inflows over the 5 years, and which is here is 300 multiplied on the 5 years, and have got the total amount of the cash inflows in the project, which is 1,500, right? Next one, the cash outflows. I have made the same calculations. I summarize the two investments which is done in the first and second year, which is 800 and 150, and I have got the whole total amount of investments, 950, right? Next one, how I could find the net cash flow over the 5 years. Just take your the cash outflows, which means the investment, how much you have done investing in the project, and deduct from your inflows how much you are going to receive in the terms of profits. So you will get there that the company will receive net profit in the amount of 550 that will receive at the end of the 5 years. Okay, so that says that the project is profitable, because at the end of the 5th year we can get the net profit in the amount of 550. So right now, let me explain you what is a cumulative cash flow. I have seen you have some questions about that. So, sometimes you will see or phrase the terms which says the cumulative cash flow. This is which means summarized cash flow. For example, in the first year is given 500, right? This is a difference between the cash outflows and the inflows in the first year. Whereas the 800 minus 300, you will get 500. What is the negative? Because we have invested more than we are receiving in the first year, right? 800 is more than the 300, which is the investments is more than the we receive in the profit terms. Next one is the count 350. Why? Because in the second year, you see we are receiving the profits already difference 150 as a net cash flow. So you have to take the difference between the second year of the profits and the loss in the first year. Like here is just take your you have to take 150 and deduct from the 500, or minus 500. How it could be done? So just let me chat you the formulas. Here the calculation is not given because this is a simple calculation which could be explained in the verse. So let me show you. This is with a negative. The 350 minus with the figure comes with a negative because you have to cumulate, which means cumulate your cash flows of the first year with the second year, which is summarizing, we're accumulating. So let me do it the right way. So this is two amounts, which is the year, the profit in the year 2, we have to deduct from the cumulative cash flows in the first year. So you will get the cumulative cash flow in the second year, which would be minus 350, means the negative figure in the second year. Then you will do the same things with the rest of years. Like 300 minus 350, you'll get minus 50, right? And the same things you have to make the calculation with the year 4 and 5. We show the cumulative cash flow to explain you, to show how much actually the profits or losses we will have in the each years. For example, when we are going to introduce this project, already the project in the plan, so in the first year, we still have a negative figure, minus 500, which means the losses. We didn't get our investment back. Which means that we haven't get our investment money back. In the second year, we still have a negative figure, minus 350. So our investments haven't been getting back, right? And but here is, as you can see over the years, at the end of the 5th year, you will see that we have some positive figure, which is positive amount. 550 is already the company getting the net profits. Only after 5 years. It's already starting from the 4th year, right? And at the end of the 5th year, we can see that we can get the net profit from this project. So the net profit shows you the difference between investments and the profits or savings you will receive from the project. So, any questions so far based on this table? Did you understand the cash flows and how we can get the cumulative cash flows to see how much in the net profits we can receive at the end of the period? Okay, thanks. This is the net cash flow. Let's see. We have done right now that we just prepared the table of the cash flows of the project, right? This is just we prepared the cash flows statement to see how much we receive the profits overall. But let's see and make calculation to find the payback method, payback period, which means we can find how long it takes time or when we can receive our investments back. Here is given based on the formula. We have done some calculations. So this is the solution on example 2, which is the base that we have previously seen. Here is given to you the second formula of the payback period. This payback period here is given to you. How we can find the payback period of the project. So here is Y plus, and the scope are A divided for B. So in the Y here is the total number of years before the payback year. In this case is a 3. Which means, let's back, here is, that means, you remember at the total amount we have invested $950, right? 900. And we have to make a calculation to find how long it takes time to get this money back. Let's see. The first year is a 300. The inflows would be received. And the second year we will receive another 300. It's already 600 at overall, right? And the third year we will receive another 300. So at overall, if we do make a calculation by over the 3 years, we will receive 900 of our cash inflows back, right? But it's still 900 is not enough because we have invested 950, right? So we need the rest of 50 of US dollars to get from the year number 4, right? So let me show you. And here the Y must be the 3, which means the third year. At the 3 years, we will receive the most of the amount. And the next one is, and the formula comes A, which means the total remain to be paid in order to make the cumulative cash flow 0. In this case, is the A. Its A is the $50. That means The difference between the investments, which is 950, we deduct how much we will receive in the 3 years, is 900. So we still have a $50 which must be getting back. But this $50 should be get from the year 4, right? From the 4th year. And B, what is the B? B is the total payback amount, entire payback year. In this is the case of the amount is 300. And the B means, for example, we still need to get our $50 from the year number 4, right? And from year 4, we need only $50 to get back our investment money, right? Which is 950. But in the year 4 is only 300. To make calculations, how much $50 would be in the terms of time in the 300? So we can make calculations and just divide the $50 to the 300, which is the 300 is the cash inflows in the year number 4, is the total amount, right? And plus 3 years, which is the Y, which is we do receive the rest of 900. So at the end, we can see that the payback period of this project is at 3.17 years. Is it around 3 years and 2 months, let's say. That means during this time, we will receive our investment money back. Or we can make calculation based on the first formula, which is easier to make calculation. Just take your investments, which is 950, divide on 300, and you will get the same amount of the payback period. Is 3.17 years. Is 3 years and 2 months around. So, and based on the first formula, here is I have made the second calculations, is applicable in the projects where the annual cash flows of the project's life are constant or fixed, which means where we do receive our inflows at the same amount, the fixed amount, like 300 in the first year, 300 in the second year, and so on. But if you receive your inflows, the cash inflows or profits, let's say, on each year a different amount, then you have to use this second formula, which is the payback period equal to Y plus A divided by 2. So this is in the case of if you have different cash inflows over the periods. Let me show you. So we have to use this one. So did any question based on this solution on the example 2? Do you have any questions? So I have seen that in chat you are asking the time for prayer. So do you need right now? Let me know, please. If you need right now, we can do it. How long it takes? 5 for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay, fine. So let's make the break right now for the 10 minutes. It's right now 25, so we'll be back at the 35 minutes. So, welcome. So, we have solved the assignment number 2 based on the payback period, right? So, as I told you, we have a 2 formula based on the payback period. The first formula, which is given previously slides, where you have to get take your investments, total investments, and divide on the annual cash inflows, how much you will receive annually in each years. Like here is we have taken the 950 of the investments and have divided on the 300, which is annual cash inflows we do receive in each year, right? So at the result we have got 3.17, which means our payback period equal to 3 years and around 2 months. That means we can get back our investments money during the 3 years and 2 months, right? Or if you have your project with different cash inflows over the years, then you have to use the second formula, where you have to let's see the formula. Based on the formula, you have to take the total number of years before the payback years and add to the total remain, which for the amount which is total remain to be paid in order to make the cumulative cash flow at the zero. That means how much the money we need still to cover our investments costs, and divide on the annual cash flows on that years, which would be the last year of the cash flow statement, like not the last year, where we have to take the whole amount, which is the 300, like a total payback amount in the entire payback year. So here is two formulas where you can use to define your payback period. But do remember, the first formula was given and applicable to usage in the projects where we have the fixed annual cash inflows, okay, over the each years. Okay, some of you ask me, shall we get the if we make a calculation to find the average cash inflows of the all years? No, we cannot do that one, because as we are getting to find the payback period over the years, whereas the cash inflows are different in amounts over the all years, we must follow the formulas, which is the second formula. At the first formula you can use where is already given the average amount of the years, which is annual inflows are the same amounts, or the fixed amount, let's say. So this is how we do use. I have some examples we'll show you as well, so that would be clearer to understand. Okay, let me see some of your questions asking me, what about A, B, and E grid are always given? Yes, of course, because the E grid and the letters A and B, all these amounts you can get from your cash flow statement of the project. Like an E grid, like here is the total number of years before the payback year. Like how much first you need, how many years you need to cover your investment costs. Like in this example, it was 3 years, because at the 3 years we will get the 900 at almost our investments, right? And then to find how long and how many, like, let's see how much it takes to get our $50 of investments from the 4th year, then we have to follow formula where is A divided by B, where is the $50, the amount which is to be enough to close investment costs, and divide on the 300. 300, this is the amount of the total cash inflows in the year 4. So okay, that's what I'm going to explain. So the 300 comes from the year 4. Okay, the $50 is the $50. You remember the $50? Those amounts which is needs to cover investment costs, because during the 3 years, we already can get $900, right? Plus, we need another additional $50. So those $50 we should take from the year 4, like year 4. Okay, here it is. So, and to get it from the year 4 and to find how many months or days it takes from the year number 4, we have to divide our $50 on the 300, which is the total amount of cash inflows in the year number 4. So, and it's around, have you seen, is 17, which means it's around 2 months in the year. So we need the 2 months of in the year number 4 is those cash inflows is $50 that needs to cover our investment costs. Okay. So let me see your questions. So when we make calculation on the payback method, you see, the payback method means how many years or months we need to get our investments money back. And another profit is not considered over the payback period. So here is, we are trying to find the time, at exactly what time we can get back our investment costs only. And the rest of amounts, the 4 5 years, which is already seems as a profit, won't be considered in the payback method. So the payback method shows you the time to getting back your investment money only. The investment in this case is a $950, right? And here is, as in the payback period of this assignment, of this project, is 3 years, 0.17. 17, that means around 2 months in the year. As we can as well can make calculation at a different way. For example, if we have some maths in the class, like 300 is let's say the 300 in the 4th year is cash inflows over the 1 year, like in the 12 months, right? You just take your 300, divide on the 12, you'll get that is $25 we'll receive in each month of the year. So, and we still need the $50, right? And how much it would be to get your $50 if you will receive the 25 in each month as cash inflows? That means you need another 2 months, right? So this is here is the payback period of this project is 3 years and 2 months. As I give in the calculation, just 3.17, or you can just write in your solutions like 3 years and 2 months. This is would be the full answer for this assignment. Six, 16 and around 17. So if we follow the formula, it shows 3.17. If you make calculation based on the each month is the 3 years and the 2 months. So we can round it to 2 months. The best way is to take to make around your months as you left after the years. And for me, when you will do your homework assignment and the exams, the important thing is that you will show that which formula you have used and your calculations. So not just the answer only, because sometimes the answer could be wrong, but the calculations would be correct, right? So I will consider only which formula you have been used in your papers and how you made your calculations. So you can write 3.2, like 3 years and the 2 months. The overall answer would be for this assignment, for this project. Okay, I have some question from Nasrat Wali. He said that I didn't reply for his questions. Maybe I left it. Let me see what your question be. Okay, here is same questions arising based on these calculations. Let me show you on the table how we have done actually. Okay, this table, right? We have some cash flows, right? So, for example, you have some project. You invested the money. That means you made the expenses, right? You invest the money. The money goes out from the company. And as this project is profitable, you receive some profits from the project. The payback method period shows you how long or what time you need to get your back money from the projects. But it's not considered the profit that you will get, the net profit from the overall from the project, right? So right now in the payback method, we are going to make a calculation to find on the time, the period, the which we can get our investment money back. In here is, as you can see, we are receiving the cash on the year, like at the total we have invested $950, right? You remember $950? Because $950 is equal to 800 that we have invested in the first year and 150 that we invest in the second year, right? And the total would be that we invested $950 in the project. And this project says that we are receiving some profits, right, over the 5 years. And each year we are receiving the $300. And to find how many years or in the months we need to get back our $950 from the project over the 5 years. So we can do the simple calculation. Let's see. For the first, the 950, and we have to get our money back. From the first year, we can get 300. From the second year, is almost another 300. It's already 600, right? Total amount. And the third year, we can get our another 300. The total is already 900. So it's 3 years. Already we need the 3 years to get our back money. But we still need to get our $50, right? The $50 is taken from the year number 4, right? But as we received in the years 4, the total amount cash inflow is 300. So how to make a question to find how many months we need to get back our money from the year number 4. So you just divide your $50 that you need to cover your investments and divide on your 300 of overall cash inflows in the year number 4. So you will get you need another 2 months from the year number 4 to get your $50 of investments back. And the overall, to get our $950 of investments back, we need the 3 years and the 2 months, right? And here we are not concerned the rest of profit that we are receiving in the year 5 and the rest of year 4 months. We only are considering the investment costs that we are investing the project and how long to get those money back. Okay, let me see your questions because here is.
Excuse me, ma'am. Excuse me. Excuse me, madam.
The payback method is using to identify the time to get back your investment costs, your investment money only. So of course we are starting from the starting of years because as soon as possible we can get our investment back money. That is the best for the company, right? That it could receive its money back from the project to cover its costs, right? So okay, let's move because we have a lot of questions and have a lot of another kind of examples. Okay, I have that Mr. Nasrali still have some questions because I didn't get what's his question being. So if you would like
Madam, are you hearing me?
Please go ahead.
Madam, are you hearing me?
Mr. Nasrat, can you talk because I still
yes, I'm talking.
I don't know why. Yeah, I can see that you can hear him, but I cannot hear him.
Madam.
Let me see what is happening. Just give me a second. That's straight. So I'm already unmute the Mr. Nasrat's microphone. If you can.
Madam, are you hearing me?
Because actually I have tested my microphone through the Skype. That is all the equipments are working, but I don't know why I cannot hear you right now. But my speakers is all okay. I already mentioned them. If Mr. Saifullah can speak.
Yeah, teacher. Mr. Nuristani, I think have some questions. Mr. Nuristani,
I do understand that.
Questions.
I cannot hear the student, so that's strange one. Please type your question on the chat because this takes time, 2 minutes, that one.
صافي جان ما أول تمش نايمة مخلط تم سوال مركو كورسات بفهمها.
کنم آواز نمیشته میگه سوال تو نوشته کنم جام سوال گشته کپی پیست کنم.
So I can see the Mr. Ali's questions. Okay, here it says, but we calculate the cash flow at the end. And we apply this payback method at the beginning of project. How is it possible to calculate the cash flow at the beginning? Okay, this is the first of all. Okay, the cash, when we have a project, okay, you have, for example, you as a financial manager or top manager, and another manager of divisional, like sales department or marketing department, wants to present you a project, okay, the project or proposal. And when he's presenting your proposal, he's already present with the cash flows that we estimate how much we receive in the profits over the years of this project and how much we have to invest firstly. Okay? So the first things, of course, because all the projects must be planned and must be supported with the strategic plans, right? Because when we are preparing the projects, we are already making calculation of our budgeting, how much we invest in the project, and we are estimating how much we receive the profits in the future. If it's a project for 5 years or 10 years, or more than it's a for long-term projects, we must estimate the profits in the futures. Because if we cannot estimate, if we cannot plan our profit, then what's the reason to present the project? If you don't know how much you receive in the process, here is we have a high risk to make investments at any projects, right? It's always like this. Like you, for example, let's say what I can. Let me give you some example of a project, like your MBA study. Let's make. Like you're like investing the money in your MBA course, right? At MBA study. So you're investing. This is also the project, like also as well. This is investment. Because you're investing your capital in your study, in yourself. So as you are investing some money in your MBA study, of course, in the future, you're estimating that this MBA study, this project, which means this investment, will give you some profits, right? Let's say you're estimating that you can find a new job or you can start up your own business with this MBA knowledges and can get some profits in the future. And that will be raising the profits compared to your existing profits, right? This is we always do is have to make a plans, our investments and our profit that we can get from investments. Of course, you do consider about all these things, like how you will use your MBA study, your all knowledge and experience you have got during the study in your future, in your career, in your life. All must be or brings you some benefits, right? And benefits would be let's say arising in the profits, right? Many you might get a new job with the MBA certificate, and you might get a high salary than you are getting right now. Let's say compared to previous job, let's say, or you might get some promotion with your MBA certificate. So you're already estimating that you will get the profits, right? This is that we always must prepare our cash flows, which means the plan of our project, how much we invest and how much we will get the profits. If we really get some profit at the end of the project, let's say, that means this is investments would be acceptable, right? Okay, that's some example. In the let's say the example in the project, in the companies or corporate organizations, there is a lot of kinds of new projects could be done, like to buy new equipment. If we buy a new equipment, like high technology equipment, we of course we do consider how much it benefits brings to the company. We can save our costings on repayment, or we'll get the more patients, let's say, based on the medical center that we have done example, right? This is all the benefits in the terms of profits we'll be getting from the project. So we always must write the strategic plan for our investment project and forecast our future profits. And the profits that we are going to get in the future must be justified, of course, not just estimating figure that we are just trying to guess. We have to justify and make all the calculations based on our budgeting, make the market research to find really how much we will get in the future, how much we will get the profit in the future from the project, from our project. So, okay, that's what I'm going to say. Let me see your questions. So, of course, you see, right now we are trying to solve the examples based on some projects, and all these projects is given in the approval process as for you to analyze and make evaluation if that the project is acceptable and profitable or not. Should we accept this project in the terms of that is will give us a high profits and have a low risks, or is the sound is not good, that the project can be rejected if it once brings any profit to the company. So we just can lose our money, our investment money. Okay, so some of you asking to answer for your questions, but I am trying to answer for all of your questions that I can see, which is very important. And if I already given the answer, that this takes time to repeat the answer for your questions. Some of you say about the calculations wrong. Of course, if your calculations be wrong, or you haven't considered such kind of conditions of the market or product, let's say, would be responsible that person who is actually initiated the project itself, who is presenting the project, who is trying to justify and sell the project itself. But responsible, of course, if we are working in the large company, in corporation organizations, we cannot be responsible for the project by our own money. You remember, because of business entity separate, that we have in the accounting the principle the business entity budget would be separate from the individual budgets. We are not responsible by our own capital, but we are responsible behind of the company because we are trying to justify and sell this project. But we have to be responsible, make all the right calculation, and consider all the conditions which would be included in the project, like the market conditions, production conditions, or about the products and goods. All this must be considered in the calculation. Here is, I'm giving you just in the common explanations. But when you face your project, you will be considered each details of the project. How much it costs and why it costs and that kind of prices. You'll make a comparison with the market price as well. Then when you estimate your profits, how you do your estimate your profits? You, like, for example, you do market research, right? You do market research, you can get your statistical data, how much, and to find the profit that brings that kind of projects. So this is all must be calculated, all must be considered in the project. Let's see the next one. And right now, for example, what we do in the financial management right now. I have teach you how to prepare the income statement, the balance sheet, and as well the cash flow statement. And we're already moving to the part of financial management, which is says that to manage your finance in the proper way, and that way we should be brings your profits to the company or to yourself if you're running your own company, right? And for example, as you are being or going to be as a financial manager and organizations, you can receive this kind of project that I'm giving to you in the examples. And I'm giving you the methods and techniques that you can use to identify the profitability of the project, and then you can make or accept or reject the profit itself. Of course, you can use different methods to be sure that your decision is right. So because of our topic is calling like capital expenditure decisions, we are financial manager, we are doing the decision based on the project, to accept the project or to reject. And before to accept and reject, to make a decision based on the project, we must make the evaluation of the project and analysis. And this is the payback period method, and the rest of will show you. These all methods help you to make right decisions, and which means to make analysis based on the project to identify the profitability of the project itself. Of course, a lot of the different conditions can affect your project. Even if you do your calculation the right way, consider all the conditions. But the conditions, the existing factors like political or economical, the factors which can affect your business, or that would be very difficult to force for these factors, right? But as we are a financial manager, we have to try to make our analysis very, let's say, make the quality analysis and make the forecasting very near to the true figures, very near to the true let's say the really figures that we are going to receive in the future. Always the forecast market is cannot be managed, right? You know, the market cannot be managed by the peoples. It's managed by own self, but we can use a different methods to try to manage our project in these markets, in that way that we are need for actually. Okay, let's see the next one. What's the pros and cons, which means the advantages and disadvantages of the payback method? The first, you have two drawbacks, two disadvantages of this method if you are going to use in your evaluation, okay? The first one is ignore the time value of money. You see, as we are making evaluation and analysis of the project based on the cash flow statement, and we haven't considered about time value of money, that what would be at the would be future with that money that we are going to receive. We are not considering about, let's say, about the inflation, right? We are not considering about inflation changes or deflation, of course, and other different things that would affect the money itself. As we are here estimating our profits and going to show our cash flows of the profits that we are going to receive in the future, but in the payback method, it's not concerned about time value. If inflation would be right, then of course we can receive lesser profits than we have forecast, right? So this is the main disadvantages or minus of the drawbacks of the payback method. And second, the disadvantage of this method is ignores the cash flows beyond the payback period. You remember what that means? Ignore the cash flows beyond the payback period. We are ignoring the profit that we are receiving beyond the payback period. As we have made the calculations and we did find the time at which time we can get our investment back in the 3 years, in the 2 months only. And we are not considering the cash flows over the rest of years, like in the 4th years and the 5th year, that we are receiving the profits. And this is the payback method's disadvantages. The main disadvantages is ignores the time value of monies, like ignores the inflations or deflations, all the fluctuations in the markets of money, and as well all profits beyond the payback periods. And why is actually the good method to make calculations widely? First of all, what is advantageous is widely used for several reasons. Like first is simplicity, which means simple to make calculations. Later I show you the different methods which would be more difficult to make calculations. But this seems that is the most simple method as a payback method. The second one, the advantage is that is useful for screen investment projects. For example, if you have some projects or you have to make some analysis based on the project, you can use this method to screen the investment itself, to screen the project, to identify like how long you need to get your investments back. Because it's simple to make calculations, that easy would be to find some solutions. Cash shortage may encourage the short payback. Like for example, like if you have some difference in the inflations in the cash, that of course it may increase your payback period, right? This is because of time value of money is not considered in this method. As well, it provides some insight as to the risk of a project. Because of this, the first of all, I would like to say about advantage of this project. It's simple to calculate, and firstly, the measures used to screen the investment itself, to screen the project itself. Okay, let's see the next one. So right now I'm going to present you the second method, which calls the accounting rate of return, ARR, the method, to make decisions based on your project, to identify which means the profitability of the project. Let's see how we can do it. It focuses on the incremental accounting profit that results from the project. So that means we are going to focus on the profit that brings this the project, that brings any kind of project. We are concentrating on the profit. The time is not considered in this method. And the formula based on this method is following. So you should take your average annual profit from the project and divide on your initial investment, how much you actually invest in the project, and multiply on 100 to see in the percentage. For example, based on the previous assignment, we have taken the average annual profit from the project, which is 300 over the 5 years, you remember? And we have divided on the investment, which is 950, right? Multiply on 100, and we have got the results 31.6%, which means this project, based on the previous examples, brings the profits to the company in the results of 31%, around 32% from the investment. So here is I just note to you that this is calculated based on the example number 2. So this is very easy as well. You see, this easy make calculations. So you have to take just average annual profit from the project and divide on your investments. So here is, it doesn't matter what cash inflows you have over the each years. So you should take average annual profits, like the average amounts of the profits over the all years you have in the project. That is easy to make calculations, and the around 32% say that this project brings 32% of profits from the investment. So that's not bad actually. So accounting rate says that accounting rate of return is effectively in an average annual ROI, which means return on investment for an individual project. Okay, about this statement you can ignore because we didn't study about ROI, which is the return on investments methods. We haven't studied about this. So you have to consider about the formula based on accounting rate of return and on the calculations. So, did you understand the ARR is very simple. Average annual profit from the project and divide on your investments and multiply on the 100 to see in the percentage how much profits the project brings to the company. That's easy as well. What is the pros and cons, advantages and disadvantages of this method? Let's see. The advantages of this method is the first one, simple way to screen the investment project. Simple to make calculations, right? It's consistent with the financial accounting method. It's consistent with the profit-based performance evaluation. That means it's based on the profit performance of the project that we can see at overall how much actually the profit brings the project itself. As well, it considers the entire life of the project, which means we are considering all the life of the project, the total life of the project. Where is given here is of all the 5 years. Okay, the whole time of the whole overall life of the project would be considered in the ARR method, account rate of return. And what is the major disadvantage of this method is as well as the payback method, it ignores the time value of money. So we're ignoring the conditions of inflation, deflation, or the changes of market in the terms of our monies, of our currencies. You see that this is the main disadvantage of these two methods, which is the payback method and the ARR. Oh, sorry. So any question so far based on ARR, which is accounting rate of return? It's simple to make calculations. You must remember just a formula. Check your average annual cash flow and divide on investment and multiply on 100 to see the percentage, the profits of the projects, right? Next one, we are going to see another two kind of methods which will consider the time value of money. You see, this is, I can't say that maybe this is the best methods to make decisions based on your projects. So this is we call it discounted cash flow analysis. Discounted cash flow analysis. A technique used in investment decision to take account of the time value of money. So we are taking the time of value of money in the future, right? It makes future cash flows equivalent to those in the current year. So we are trying, we are estimating that the percentage of inflation or deflation would be in the future compared to existing time. You see, we are considering that the money can lose their value in the future. And we have two types. The first of the type calls net present value, or just NPV. And the second calls the internal rate of return, or IRR. So these two methods we are going to study about. What is the net present value? It calculates the present value of future cash flows of a project. So this method helps us to consider the time value of money based on our cash flows. And we have a few steps to make calculation based on this method. So these steps you have to remember. And I have some examples to show you based on assignment. The first step, we have to determine the cash flows for each year of the proposed investment. So that means when we have any kind of project, we must draw our table of our cash inflows and outflows that we have done in the previous assignments. You remember? We have shown that how much investments how much cash outflows or investments we have done in the project, and how much inflows or how much the cash inflows or the profits we will receive over the periods. This table we have to show and prepare first. Then, the second step, we have to calculate the net present value of each cash flows using the required rate of return. Okay, the second step say that in the second step we already are going to consider about time value of money and make calculations based on our current cash flows with consideration of the future changes in the currency. And to make calculations of the NPVs, the net present values of the monies, we are going to use the required rate of return. What is the required rate of return? That is how much is being required, the rate to return our money back. Okay, that would be easy to explain in the examples. Let me finish the steps. Next one, we have to calculate the total NPV, the total amount of net present values, and the next step and the fourth step, we are going to deduct our investment from the total NPVs to find the differences. And if these differences is positive, like the net NPV is positive, then the project is acceptable on the financial grounds, that we can accept the project. That means that the project really brings the profit to the company. So let me show you in the examples how we are going to make calculation based on this method, because it's like, yeah, calculation is complicated, as you can see. We have 5 steps to find our net present value of the project, to make a real decision on the project. The first step, you remember, remember, we have to prepare the cash flow of a project. Here is, I have taken the same project that we have done in previous assignments. Like we have some investments of the 400, and so the project is given for the 3 years. And each year we are receiving the profits. On the first year we are receiving the profits at the amount of 300. At the second year we are going to receive around 200, and the third year we are receiving 100. So here is we already know our investment cost, that is equal to 400, and how much the profits we are going to receive over the life of the projects, which is 3 years of life of the projects. And each year we are going to receive a different amount, as you can see, right? The first year, second, third year is all different amounts, but the first years are the highest amounts of profits. The second step, you remember, says that we have to make calculation to find the present value of our profits. Let's see how we can make it. So first of all, the project cash flows are discounted back to the. So what is the required rate of return? This is discounted money actually. That, for example, we are consigned during all the change in the market, which might be in the future, right? Let's say like inflation, right? And the percentage of the rate, the required return rate, which is a discounted rates, we can estimate. It depends on the project itself. Sometimes we have some standards for rates, or sometimes we can estimate that rate by ourselves. For example, in this assignment, we have estimated that our required rate of return, the return money that, let's say, the percentage of the value of monies in the future would be around 10%, in the 10%. Like let's say that we're estimating how much inflation would be in the future, let's say in the 3 years in the future, and how much we can lose from our current money. And we can, here is given to you at the examples, at the all signs is already will be given to you the rate of return. And that example is given is a 10%. That we are estimating that we can lose 10% of our profits in the future compared to the current market. So we are make comparison the current existing markets with the futures, the current profits with the future profits would receive. And for example, based on the assignment, first year cash flow, which is the CFI calls cash flow, first year cash flow of 300 is discounted for the year at a 10%. So over all 3 years, we are going to discount our profits on 10%. Okay? And formula is following. To find your present value of the future's profits, let's say, you have to take your future value, the future profit that you are going to receive, like a 300, and divide on 1 plus your discounted rate. Here is the formula. At the power, at the first power, that means this is the first power. Here is in the formula, it shows you the which year you're going to make calculations of the present values. As we are going to find the present value for the first year, we have to put the 1 at the 1 power or in the formula. And we can see, after calculation, we have got the result, $273. This is the actually present values, the present, today's existing present values of the future's profits. As you can see, is lower than it being in the future. Because in the future, we have been estimated that we are going to receive 300, but with a discounted rate, with the consideration of inflation, we can see that the present values of our profit would be only 273 for the first year. Okay? For the first year. Any questions so far based on the first year calculations? So the 10%, this is the required rate of return, or we call it the discounted percentage of money. That could be equal to your inflation or estimated inflation in your country, let's say. And we have to take this amount and would be considered in the calculations of the present values. Okay, some questions I have. Okay, here is I have question. The next question is some statement from the Mr. Mustafa. The 300 is our profit that we are going to receive in the first year from the project, right? And after the calculation of the present values of the 300, the profit that we are going to receive in the future, like we are going to receive that we are estimating that we are going to receive the 300 profit in the future, right? In the future, I mean after 1 year of the project. But when we are making calculation considering all the inflation conditions, or let's say that another kind of fluctuation of the market, the present values of the 300 would be equal to 273. It will be decreased, and the amount would be lower than we are being estimated. So for the second year, we can make calculation. We have to make calculation the same formula. You remember the second year we are going to receive 200 of a profit, right? And based on the formula, we divide on 1 plus 10%, which is in the second power, which means second power is equal to the number of years, the second year. We can get the results $165 of a present value from the project in the second year is 165. Then we can do the same things with the third year. Take your third year's profit 100 and divide on the 1 plus 0.10, which is based on the formulas in the third power, which is equal to the third year. You will get the present value of the third years, which is equal to $75. So right now we did find we have found the present values of the project based on the estimations of the cash flows, right? So all our cash inflows over the years, the first, second years, were discounted by the 10%. So we just discount by the 10%. And percentage is always fixed. If we are already fixed at the first years, that we are going to fix over all the years. That is, it's already been given the constant the amount of percentage discount rate. Okay, I have a question that says that the percentage shouldn't be the same at the first year. It would be the same. The percentage rate, which is here is the 10% of discount rate, it will be always fixed for over the years. Will be fixed over years. in this formula and as well in your calculations. And as I told you, discounted rate could be considered because of some inflation rates, or can be considered about the different conditions of the market. I just given you the inflation rate is flexible because just as example one is just one example that what kind of changes could be might be or done over the project life. Okay, this is just was the example that, for example, as inflation or deflation, we could have it. But if you're in your project, you're considering that, for example, the 10% of discount rate is not enough, for example, to consider all changes in the market, you can increase it. It's not a fix for the whole project, but it's a fix over the years of the period of the life project. But it can be different for the different project, let's say. You can increase it by the 15%, 18%, let's say, or even 20, 25%. It can be discounted for over that 10%. In this example, we're just showing the 10% only. But this percentage would be fixed for one project over the all its life, over the all years of the project itself. Okay, let me see your questions. Yes, I do agree that you say that the inflation is not constant, it's changed every year. But here is the inflation. When I told you the inflation, I mentioned that just as one example of the changes in the market. So I have some question asking me how much is this percentage in the number, madam. So the 10% in the number is 0.10. Here is based on the formula, as you can see. If we convert this 10% in the number, we can see based on the formula is this amount, 0.10. It's equal to 2%, right? Because in the formula we have to use the numbers only without the percentages. So here is 0.10. If you have, for example, 20% discount rate, it will be 0.20, right? If you change your percentage to the numbers. So when we do calculation based on the net present value to find the present values of the present value of the future profits, we must follow this formula as I given to you. Like here is this is formula. Where is the future value? Where is the future value? This is a cash inflows of the each year. And divide 1 plus R. R is the percentage discounted rate. Like here it is a 10%. In the number, it will be 0.10. And the N, the N out of it, and the N in the power, it's equal to number of years of the present values. For example, if we are going to find the present value for the first year, the N will be equal to 1. If we are going to find the present value for the second year, the N in the power will be equal to 2. So it's same as the years, the number of years. Okay? So any questions so far based on this form, because we haven't finished our calculation based on the present value. We just found the present values of our profits based on the cash flow. Here is 3 figures we have found. Only the present values of our profit that we are going to receive in the future.
Can I speak?
Then we have to make follow the steps of the present values formula.
Can you speak, madam? Can I speak?
I'm going to show you some graphs of the net present value. So you remember, this is this, don't worry about this graph, I will explain you what that means. You remember in the year 10 we are receiving the 300 of the profit, right? In the year 2nd is 200. And the year 3rd we are receiving the 100 of profits. At the 10 of discounted rate, which would be considered as inflation, deflation, or some another kind of different change in the market. And where if this rate could be different, you can increase or decrease it. The net present values of our profits for the first year, after calculation, we got 273, you remember, from the previous calculations. In the second year is equal, the present value is equal to 165. And this, in the third year, the future value, the net present value of the futures value is equal to 75. Based on our instructions, how to find the present values of the project, we have to summarize all these three present values to find the total present values over the projects over the 3 years, which is equal to $513, right? Just make calculations. Add your 75, 165, and 273 together. All three amounts would be equal to total amount of $513. This is the present values. The present values of the project over the 3 years. Then we have to take our investment cost, which is 400, and deduct from our present values. Deduct here is, and you will find that the net present values, which means net present values equal to net profit of the project, is equal to $113, which means the project brings profits to the company, and in the amount of $113. And if you remember, based on the instruction of present values, if our net present values comes with a positive figure, bring the profit, that means we can accept this project based on the financial grounds. So as we are financial manager, based on the financial planning and budgeting on this project, we are actually accepting this project. Okay, I have finished my explanation based on the graphs. Let me see your question. Okay, so I have a question that asking me, can we calculate the future, I think the present values you mean for the futures years, for example, 4th and 5th. But this is, of course, we have to, as this example is the project given for 3 years only. And we are making the calculation over the all 3 years. If your project will begin for 5 years, you have to find the all present values over the 5 years. If it's 10 years, you have to find the values for all the 10 years of the project. I think you have been confused with the previous assignment where we had another project over the 5 years. But this is different. You remember this different project. This project comes with the 3 years of life, whereas investment is the 400 only. And we have to find the present values over the 3 years, which means for all 3 years of project life. Okay, this is, I have the same question that most of you confusing, that is this cash flows we are preparing for the past years or the future. First of all, when we are, as a financial manager, we are going to evaluate and make analysis of the project, which is the project is a new project, is going to be created and haven't been introduced actually in the process we are making the analysis based on the cash flows, which is the planning of our estimated investments and profits. Of course, this is the future cash flows that we are going to make calculations. It's not the past, because first of all, to accept any of project based on its profitability, let's say efficiently, we have to see the plan of this project, the strategic plan of this project, including the budgeting and financial, all the amounts which is profit investment it brings to. Okay, this is why we are going to make calculations. We are doing actually the calculations based on the cash flow statements. Let me see your questions. So the again question about that most of you think that is the past 2 years. You have to understand, first, as your financial manager, when you're evaluating, analyzing the project, to accept it or to reject the project itself, which is a new project actually, haven't been run. Of course, this is all the figures that shows in the project, like profits or investments, is the futures. So this project would be run, if you would accept this project, then it will be running and introduced in the process. And here is, as this net present values method shows you the present values, of the futures profit that you are estimating you are going to receive, and we are making at the discounted rate, with the consideration of the market changes in the currency, let's say, or in the products, that in the price of products, or different kind of condition can affect your profits, right? So we are considering about the value of money. As you know, the money, for example, the money, they are losing its value over the days, right? For example, today you have borrowed $200. Let's say 200. Tomorrow the 200 will be different amount. Let's say, of course, it's still the $200, but the value of the 200 will be lower, right? Because we have all the prices will be increased for all kinds of things. The products, all the expense will be increased over the periods, over the futures time, right? This is why, like for example, when you are going to get the credit from the bank, they give you some rate, which is a percentage rate, which is the interest rate, right? Because of they are considered about the value of money, that they will borrow you 200, but tomorrow or after 1 year, the 200 will have lesser values. And this is a net present value method, will help us to find the present value of the future's profits or expenses.
Excuse me? Can you hear me then?
So we are considering here is in the net present values of the time value of money, the value of money, because over the years it's been losing its values, right? Anything would be lose its values. But for example, as I told you, that today if you have $100 in your pocket, let's say, tomorrow, today, for example, the $100 in your pockets, you can buy, let's say, what you can buy, like the new shoes. Okay. And tomorrow, for this 100, you won't be buying new shoes because the let's say the value of money will be lesser. Will lose its the money lose its value. This $100 will lose its values. So it might be not would be enough for you to buy a new shoes like this. Or if the shoes would be with discounted price, then you can do it, of course. Let's see so we have another examples. Examples number 4, and we have example number 5, and some internal rate of return, another method. So we still have 2 examples based on the net present values that will explain you more clear. And we have another method which is IRR. There is a really complicated formula, but for that method I have some financial calculator which you can use without the formulas to find the values. Okay. Okay, let me see your questions on the chart. So most of you say that's enough for today. So you're requesting to complete the class right now, right? Okay, we can finish our class by today, and we must complete this topic on the next class, which will be in the Thursday. As I have told you in the previous class that we are going to have 2 classes on the next week, the Thursday and Friday, same as we had on this week. So because of these topics, it's a huge one, but these are very important for you, for your study. We have to finish and complete all of them. This is very important you do clearly understand. You have these slides and presentation in your mailboxes already. So please try to review it at least 2 times. There is 40 slides only, but it's easy to read. Try to review it. That would help you to understand more clear. And of course, you have the e-books that I have sent you on your emails at the beginning of the semester. You remember? Actually, you have to read them and review every day. That's how the students do, actually. I know you are all working and busy, but try to, if you have some free times on weekends, to review the books, to review all my presentations. That you have a lesser question on the sessions, and we can complete our course by the May. Otherwise, we need more time. I hope you are agree. With my consideration about the books. So please review the presentations at least 2 times. 1 time is not enough. And with me, it's not enough. You have to review the all presentation 2 times by your own firstly, then with me again. And as well, the books you have on financial management, try to read them based on these topics. That's very interesting and very, very useful in your future career, in your future business. Because this is a really calculation that works in the businesses, in the financial department. Really, people work based on these calculations, based on these formulas. It's not as only theory, based on theory. Yeah, that is based theory, but all are practicable and useful in the current moment. Okay, thank you very much for joining the class. See you on the next class, which would be in this Thursday. The next Thursday, the same time that we have always. Any questions, just email to me. So thank you very much, and have a good weekend.